I have the great pleasure of being joined right now by Dr. Paul Robertson, who is the Editor-in-Chief of the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism. Thank you so much, and congratulations on your new role there.
Thank you, Dina.
I know you have a new team in place, a bit of a new direction. Can you talk to us about that?
Sure. So with the turnover, I've been in this position now for 2 months. I have 11 associate editors that I send manuscripts to, basically. So I reserve some of the diabetes manuscripts for me to act as associate editor, because it keeps me involved. But there are all of the different clinical areas of endocrinology to be covered by true experts. So we have that all covered by them. What we're doing is, with the journal, we get 2,500 plus submissions every year. So every day the mail's bag is totally full, and we just can't review that many manuscripts. So we basically triage 50% to 60%, just send them back to the authors and say, we've looked at your manuscript, I look at the title, I look at the abstract, kind of quickly go through it, I get it to an associate editor who does the same thing. Then we will both decide whether or not this should go out for full review or not. And right now, in that process, we're winnowing out about 40% that go out for full review. That's a bit of a change. I mean, typically, the triage process wasn't that vigorous. The other change we've made is we're only sending manuscripts to 2 reviewers instead of 3 reviewers. The reason we're doing that is to have a good turnaround time on a manuscript. The logjam is always the 3rd reviewer, and the 2 can grow very rapidly, but we're always waiting for the 3rd person. So that's one reason. And the other is, with all the open access publications, and they're just proliferating, reviewers are getting stoned to death by all these things. So most of our reviewers, of course, are scientists who are funded to do research. There's been a huge cut in NIH funding, so they would much rather be writing their grants than getting all these manuscripts from everybody. So it's created kind of a reviewer abuse syndrome, which we're trying to prevent by not sending every manuscript out for 3 reviews.
When you talk about the massive number of these 2,500 submissions and the large scope of endocrinology, what can you say will be the areas of research that you believe we'll see most of in the coming year?
You mean for the journal?
For the journal, yes.
We're aiming for parity because it's an endocrinology journal. I don't want to favor one clinical area over another. Traditionally, thyroid diseases and calcium bone diseases have been the lead things, followed by diabetes. In terms of submissions, not necessarily accepted publications. And that's a big difference because that gets into a whole other area, you know, who's doing the best research consistently, how many of the best researchers are in a given area. I'm not going to go there. It sort of falls out in the review process.
Remember, we've got endocrine disruption, you've got menopause, so many other things that are impacting
Vitamin
people.
D has had a big run the last couple of years. Yeah, it's a moving target.
Absolutely. But you will have the best of coming up here at
yes.
this meeting, and that's going to be a great session.
So that's my pet project for this meeting. It's a new inaugural thing we're just initiating. It's taking the best publication of each of the 10 areas published by JCEM in the last 12 months. And we choose what's the best by the kind of grades the reviewers give them. Why do we do this? Well, it's nice to celebrate success and excellence. Many of these are young people who will be getting up and giving a paper in front of a bully pulpit at the Endocrine Society. It's also consistent with my philosophy to keep endocrinologists broad. The pressure and tendency is to just focus down on one thing you do and do just that. Many reasons for that I understand, but I don't think it's healthy intellectually. I think we are doctors who need to stay broad in terms of our ability to take care of people. So they need to see a little bit of something else than what they do every day. So what they can do now on a Sunday morning is come into one room, listen to the 10 best publications JCEM has published, one in each of these 10 areas, like thyroid, calcium, diabetes, etc., and sit there for 2.5 hours, see the original authors of the manuscript who have come back now to present it and to update their data. So that's another great opportunity. You get to see the best manuscripts, and you get to see what they think 12 months later.
For people who want to focus, why do you think it is important for them to expand into the other areas, to just have a basic knowledge of some of the other topics?
Yeah. You know, if you come in to see me as a patient, and I'm taking care of your diabetes, and you suddenly develop a thyroid problem, You don't want to hear from me, oh, I don't do thyroid, I just do pancreas.
Right.
That's just not appropriate. So just trying to keep everybody broadly educated.
Wonderful. Well, good luck in your new role. Thank you so much for joining us here, Dr. Robertson, who is the new Editor-in-Chief for the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism.
Thank you, Dina.